Hi everybody, it's Amanda. Today I'm going to be discussing access specifiers because I didn't discuss them really in my class video or my introduction to constructors, which was an overloaded constructor. As you can see here, we have our overloaded constructor. However, let me just go ahead and jump right in. So again, continuation. So my age is 33. As you can see, for our private attributes, I have an integer variable named age, which is assigned 0 because I don't want it to contain any garbage. So I'm just going to go ahead and initialize it with something. So anytime anyone uses any of these methods, which is inside of our public access specifier, they won't get something that is completely random. Going back, so as you can see, these are my private attributes. Again, this is the difference between a struct and a class. Classes are private by default, and structs are going to be public by default. Therefore, in order for you to gain access to these attributes, it has to be through this public access specifier. Otherwise, you would have to declare your variables as public, but that defeats the purpose of what you're trying to do with your object and what you're trying to create. And that's important to keep in the back of your mind because you're not going away from this private access specifier, and nor is it going anywhere because you need it. You can also do and add methods inside of your private attributes. It just depends on what kind of object you're trying to create. Again, let's just go back to the very basics though. So again, I have my private access specifier. This is the syntax for that, private. And then I have my colon here. And then I have my integer variable named age, which is assigned 0 again. And then I come to my public access specifier, which is allowing me access to this private attribute inside of the class, my age class. Without access to this attribute, then I would not be able to use these methods. So if I went ahead and removed my attribute, as you can see, it instantly turned red. That's because there is no longer a variable named age. Where is age in my program? Age isn't anywhere. If I declared age as a public member inside of my access specifier, again, that defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do with my class object, unless it calls for you to do that. However, I would say that's unlikely, but each their own. Anyway, going on, so I have my overloaded constructor, I have my accessor getter method, I have my setter mutator, and then I have my attribute. And as you saw, I lost access inside of my implementation file to the age variable, and that's because that variable no longer existed. If I created a new variable, I would have to go in and change, obviously, the name of each one of these because it wouldn't match. But in order for me to have access and in order for there to be a variable, you have to create the variable. So anyway, moving forward, going inside my main, I'm just showing you here again. So it's not going to allow me to initialize an object or create an object without adding an argument inside of the parameters. So again, my argument is parameters. If I were to jump up an age randomly, say I feel like I'm aging by the day, I feel like I'm, let's say some days I feel like I'm 140 years old. Let's go ahead and say my age is, and then actually, instead of doing a new variable, I'm going to use my set age method. And because I don't need the data type in front of it because I already declared my instance of my class, I just need the name of my class followed by my dot operator followed by my age. So now I can see my age. Sorry. I can see, yeah, my age. So I'm getting distracted. Set age or get age. Getting distracted. Sorry. And Bill had a busy week. All right, here we go. As we run the program now, it's going to say I am 33, and then it's going to say, yeah, my age is 140. Because some days I really do feel like I'm 140 years old. But I mean, that's another story. But obviously, I went all over the place, so I'm sorry about that. So again, but this is going to be your foundation for access specifiers. If it did not answer your question about access specifiers, please let me know if you have any questions. Again, going back, you're not going to have this public here. You have to declare that public. Let me go ahead and actually copy all of that. So this is the syntax for a class because it is private by default. So whatever you declare in here, so if I declared an integer age and I assigned it 0, I'm going to have that variable. However, I don't have any of the methods that go along with that variable. And it's best practice to know what your private attributes are. So that therefore you use the word private to let you know. You don't really have to, but again, best practice so you know how your program is operating and you know which variables or methods are private and you know which methods and everything else is going to be inside of your public access specifier. If you have any questions, again, let me know. I hope that this answered some questions. I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks for your time. I'm sorry this wasn't the best video. I just wanted to do a quick topic today. I have an appointment coming up. Thanks again.